Where song.
Akikambata utaongea.
Bado kwa kelele nitaongea baadaye.
Kambata ni muka.
Otieno Logistic.
Wale Kambata.
Charlie wa Kisumu, are you there?
Hello.
Okay, let's give the mic to Otieno Logistic. Logi ongea.
Yeah, asante sana.
Give us some wisdom.
Asante sana political arena. It is now official that our man Raila Amolo Odinga has gone to AUC to be the chairman. And I can confirm here, beyond benefit of doubt, that numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie. Raila Amolo Odinga, from my personal analysis, Raila Amolo Odinga has got, at least from where I sit, the Anglophone countries, starting from my home country, Kenya. He has got 7 votes. He's starting with 7. And by virtue that he is a political strong man, he has disorganized all the known, we talk of the non-Islamic stroke francophone countries that Djibouti man has the 34 francophone stroke Islamic country. I want to justify the reason why Raila Amolo Odinga is going to win before I tell, because people will say he's going to win. First of all, I justify for Thomases, like Songa. Thomases who are here. How
Raila will win. Mimi namuombea ndugu yangu.
Wewe uombi, wewe ni mtu ambaye uombi Raila wewe, from where I sit.
Sawa, that is good. Kwani ananiombeanga?
Wait for me so that I can give you some little wisdom and education so that you can have a robust background information on how our man is going to clinch the victory. We all agree that Raila Amolo Odinga has got us all-inclusive charisma. He's a statesman. In fact, the AUC seat befits him from all corners. And following all the factors that are mentioned, Raila Amolo Odinga is now the AUC chairman designate. That seat is meant for him. We are just going for a confirmation.
Otieno.
Yes.
Could you please count for us some of the countries that you feel like will vote for Raila? Let's go. 1.
That one is very simple. That one is very simple. Those ones are very simple things. Let us start with Tinga has got Uganda. Tinga has got Kenya. Tinga has got Tanzania. Tinga has got Southern Sudan. Tinga has got Rwanda. Tinga has Burundi plus DRC Congo. Those ones are 7 robust countries that Tinga has at hand. And I also want to mention for you the countries that are really sympathizing and have aligned themselves with Raila Amolo Odinga. And they were falling under the Francophone stroke Islamic countries. Tunisia, Algeria, Seychelles, Burundi, Togo, Nigeria, Gambia. I tell you for a fact, our man, Raila Amolo Odinga, has managed to have 28 countries by virtue that is a polyglot. Polyglot simply means he can master the ranks of at least 5 languages, which Songa can only know 1, plus maybe Kamba, because he normally have a wife, a girlfriend of a Kamba nation. We only have deficit of 4. And 4, we will snatch them from the 10 swing votes. Believe me, the seat is gone to our man, Raila Amolo Odinga. I'm just waiting to dance myself lame on the streets of Nairobi on that Saturday.
What will happen if, Mr. Tieno, do you remember the time, the 2022 elections? Some of you guys, I heard that you were there at KICC. Mkatandika red carpet. Kumbe you were just overconfident. Now a lot of kuna watu wengi sana wameenda Addis Ababa.
Yes.
Wako na confidence ile. What will happen if Baba loses? Will you be on this platform on Saturday?
Nothing will happen. The beauty of politics is that we only cross the bridge when we reach there. We cannot cross the bridge when we have not reached there. So the results and the aftermath will not cajole our interest. In the event Raila Amolo Odinga will not succeed, in the event, the members who have gone there will just return to Kenya. And that's how the beauty now of politics comes in. So it is not life and death, Madam Political Arena. Those people will not die there. They will come. But we are very much optimistic that the seat belongs to us and we have all it takes to have the seat. And our man is already preparing the inaugural speech.
Just talk about Babu Bwana.
Time is up.
So nisaidie ni counteract kitu tena amesema.
Okay.
Good evening, fellow comrades.
Good evening, gentlemen.
It's good to see you after a while. Nilikuwa nimeenda kuhustle kidogo.
Thank you.
Mko sawa? So I said it sometimes back and I want to repeat it. This week is very consequential. Not only in Addis Ababa, it's also consequential in Kenya. What will happen there will determine what will happen in Kenya. So the people who are participating in that elective process, they are now damned if they do, they are damned if they don't. There's no running. Ukisha ingiza mguu kwa maji lazima uogelee. So here we want to save the, unajua kulikuwa na, there were those people who supported Raila supporters, but they are, how do I call them? They are moderate. We call them the moderates in politics. So this moderate and the other extreme, with the other extreme ends like Otieno Logistics, they will determine their political future this week, not any other week, this week. By the time we finish Sunday, they will have made their decision on how it's going to happen in this country. You know, I said earlier on, this was a very hot potato for Baba. You see it, I don't think we really prepared ourselves properly. Baba was given this thing in form of a reward or quelling his people or a form of handshake or anything you want to call it. But I don't think he himself as an individual was really, or I don't think Kenya was really prepared for this seat. Going to hold Baba accountable. Yeye alienda kuchukua hiyo kiti. He had his reason. Some of the people that wanna support, they trusted him that Baba, we don't want to know the reason you did not inform us. You did not tell us how strategic this seat will benefit our community. But nevertheless, you went ahead. But now that you are there, do not come empty-handed. Presidency, you came close, you came empty-handed, but you still had a handshake with Uhuru Kenyatta. Ruto, you are very close with less than 200,000 votes margin. You are very close. You came empty-handed. You still had a handshake. Now you are in a broad-based government. AUC, This one is not a local competition. This is an international competition. If you come empty-handed, now people have a right to judge Raila's character without fear or favor. They have a right to judge if he is competent, if he has the tenacity, or even if he has the good luck to take power. Sometimes you need a bit of luck. Sometimes maybe you're not so lucky, or you're not lucky again, or you're not at that time lucky, but now we'll start judging you nevertheless. So this seat is consequential. This competition that is going to happen over weekend, should be Friday or Saturday, it's very consequential. So it's very consequential if Raila loses that seat. We will be some of us who may not support Raila, or will be looking at Raila supporters, especially the moderate, how they are going to react. So I wanted to just comment the issue of Babu Owino, so that I finish. I've already commented about the issue of AUC.
In fact, you have not even talked of any serious thing about Raila. You just comment on Babu Owino and then you leave the stage.
No,
from where I see it, what you are telling us, those ones are mirages that cannot help us.
Already is wrong.
Thinking capacity is different.
So I want to speak about.
We are not in a linguistic class to correct somebody's pronunciation. What do you know about pronunciation?
Thank you. I want to speak about Babu Owino. Babu Owino, at least for me, is a very astute individual. I don't think Babu Owino is ready to be a Luo kingpin. Not because he's young, but I think he has a bit of milestone to go over. And I don't think no one should stop Babu Owino to having a stab Luo kingship. So that's all I can say on that. But me personally, I don't think he's ready. I think there's still a bit of milestone. He needs to be in power properly. He needs to also handshake. He needs to be at the national level. And so we judge him. And with that, that's end my contribution.
Why did Raila aki leo English nani?
Sakaja. Ali second Sakaja instead of Babu Owino. Yeah. So yeah. Raila does not believe Babu Owino is a leader. That is personal role. Me, I think Babu Owino, if he wants to be a national leader, if he want to prove his mettle, I think he has to face Baba. It's not for us to sympathize with Babu Owino that hey, Baba namwona nini. Babu Owino has to face Baba. Babu Owino has to understand that as long as he is in this bus called ODM, which is owned, is a property, is a trademark of one Raila Odinga, he will be served whatever Baba will serve him. If Baba does not believe Babu Owino is fit to be the governor of Nairobi, Babu Owino should not accept, should not whine. Babu Owino should chart his path. If he believes he is a better leader for governor, I think he already have a goodwill on the ground and decide his fate. I think Baba, he should not rely. So the direct answer to that is, as long as Babu is in ODM and Baba does not believe is somebody who is capable of leading, even some branch in ODM party, Babu Owino should chart his own path. Babu Owino should not cry, or supporters of Babu Owino should not be crying or wailing that Baba has not supported Babu Owino, because Baba already has shown his hand.
All right. Thank you. Owen, I'm sorry, Tony alikupita. Owen, then Royal Boy, kindly. Let's continue tapping.
Okay, thank you. Number one, I firmly believe, and I can put a bet on the AUC election, Baba will win. Why am I saying this? Out of the Francophone nations that I would have given the Djibouti candidate votes, 6 of them already suspended. That is it Guinea, Mali, Burkina Faso, Sudan, Gabon? There are 6 already are out of the equation. So the Djibouti guy is going to a fight -6 of his possible votes, giving Mzee a possible chance. And if I had some notions, being that there's a heavy delegation that will go to Ethiopia of 100 MPs and maybe certain government officials. My take is these people who are going there, possibly, they are not going empty-handed. They'll be carrying a stash of money, but split in different forms to go do lobbying in Addis Ababa. We can borrow from what happened in South Africa. It is not impossible for an Anglophone country to win the AUC election. In 2012, we had Dr. Nkosazana Zuma, the wife of the former president of South Africa, Zuma. They also went into an AUC election in the year 2012, and she won, and she served up to 2017. So there was also that notion that she couldn't win. But what did Zuma do? He used money. So for Baba's win, it is guaranteed. The government is going to spend money because they had set a budget. And two, they did intensive lobbying.
Honorable Owen, one second. So you are happy telling us that the government has set some money aside to give Ethiopia. So you are happy about that?
I'm not happy. You said is to give my 2 cents concerning AUC.
I have a question for Owen.
If you've added an additional topic on money,
I have a question.
I could also give a thought on that.
You talked about it. That's why I've asked.
Yes.
I have a question. To Honorable Owen.
It's not about me being happy, but it's about the strategy used.
Okay.
Yes, I have no powers to control that.
Okay, can I say something?
Yeah, no, Vosti. No, you have to wait, Vosti. So Baba's strategy is dishing out money, right?
Can I say what? It's part of a campaign.
All right. Tony, you have a question?
I have a question.
Yes.
You know what Honorable Owen is saying has been challenged over and over again. And you know what the people who are supporting Baba, like Honorable Owen for the AUC, they want us to believe that the candidates that of Djibouti do not equally dish money. And what Honorable Owen want to say that the previous, the outgoing AUC chair, when he was elected, there were no many other countries that were suspended during that vote for one thing or another. Is that what you're trying to say? Is that the added advantage that Baba has against the other candidate, Djibouti?
I'm talking like as we are standing, the countries that are going to vote, the suspended countries that that have shown tendency towards the Djibouti guy.
How have they shown the tendency? How have they shown the tendency?
Traore, what did he speak? What was his speech
against our president? Against Raila Odinga?
No, I'm saying the President Ruto. And it was even in discussions where even Dr. Michezo Kitui has talked about it. And there was a moment where people were condemning the president of making reckless diplomatic statements. True or false?
Let me tell you. No, you are running from my main question. I've challenged your reasoning that the previous voting there were no suspended country. I'm assuring you that this time they are also suspended country. But the issues that candidates will be voting for, money with notwithstanding, whichever candidate is given, there are still.
I've given you an example of Dr. Nkosazana Zuma, the wife of 2012 by Jacob Zuma. Go make a reference to that. Go see what is the South African delegates did.
Advantage? What is the comparative advantage of that?
Money was used. Go look at the history. What Jacob Zuma did.
Money.
To have his wife be elected.
In this discussion, Honorable might have a lot of money.
Even Mr. Uhuru Kenyatta,
so far as you are speaking, you see,
Raila Amolo Odinga charismatic nature will land him.
We are asking Honorable
man is not there, man.
We're challenging his reasoning. Have you seen? Have you gone to the? No, have you gone to the Djibouti candidates and have you checked their passes for this event, for this campaign?
Tony, what is the budget? What budget has the Djibouti government given Mohammed?
Are you aware or not aware?
I've asked you because you made a statement that also the Djibouti guy
No, stop
is using money.
gaslighting.
So
I'm saying no. My question
I'm not
is
gaslighting.
very straightforward. My question is very straightforward. We are talking about money here. You are trying to insinuate that the candidate of Kenya has placed more money in terms of bribery or any other thing in that factor. That what about the Djibouti candidate? What
Is
kind
it
of
not
money
in
or
public
resources
domain
are they
that the
offering the other
government of
countries?
Kenya had set aside money for the campaign of Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga?
You are wrong,
Is it true?
So let me challenge you.
You are wrong.
No,
the
no, no,
government
no.
of Kenya did not set aside money. In fact, Raila has been explaining this every now and again.
Honorable
One, the only money that is there is the logistical money, how Raila could travel. But Raila was not in a position to bribe Benny.
Honorable Owen, kind Maliza.
Let me make my remarks and finish. Maybe they will rebuttal at their own given time. I not even finish. So already he has the advantage of money. He has a global presence and friendship with most of these countries. Like people would ask, why would DRC vote for him? It's because he has a personal relationship with Tshisekedi, and even while Tshisekedi was campaigning, his manifesto was drafted by Professor Nyong'o. So if you look at his global on the continental level, Raila has made a lot of friends, including the president of South Africa, Ramaphosa. So he has a lot of edge amongst all the three candidates that will vie. Now, on the issue of Babu, just as it was said, Babu has personal ambition. He wants to be a governor. And the issue of kingpinship is just but local talks by people. Others want him to go for that position. But he himself, he has not readied himself or sacrificed that is going for that position. And equally, it is impossible to go claim kinship when the kingpin is still there. That's why you see, even if we make reference to the mountain, right now they are viewing Wamunyoro as their master and lord. And they would even go to the extent to threaten the governor of Muranga that if he doesn't toe the line, no matter the amount of development he does, he will fail. And that's why even people like Ndindi Nyoro, personal friends of Babu, cannot stand to challenge that. They're just silent. So Babu should just make his mind. If he wants to go for the kingship, then it means he has to form a rebellion against ODM. Is he ready to do that? No.
All right, thank you. Royal Boy? Royal Boy? Royal is not there.
Thank you for the chance political arena. And for me, I've been listening, and I love the way and the PM was there too, but they changed their mind. And when you look about Museveni, I don't trust Museveni that he will vote for Raila. Let's just hope that. But my thing is here. Raila, Ruto is supporting. And I'm praying if Raila want to win, it's okay. I have no problem with that. But I'm seeing something, if Raila win, then it means like all rules will support Ruto whichever way it is. Like even if it's a bad guy, we know it's a bad leader, we know all rules will support Ruto because now Ruto has done a lot of campaigns for Raila. And Mark you, this is the first time, I mean, the AU chair is being spoken around the world, not because of anything. It's because the campaigns which are made, Raila has done, it makes people to wonder, like, have we ever seen this before? Actually, the campaign which is going on is, I'm telling you, it's not like it has not been before like that way. But the thing is here, it's the presidents who are going to vote for that, for Raila. We don't know whether they're going to vote for Raila, yes or no, but let us wait. My thing is here. I just asked my brothers from rural Nyanza. I come from Nyanza. Please, if Raila wins, you have to sit down and consider who you're going to vote for president in the next election. If you're going to vote for Ruto because Ruto has done campaign for her to win AU, it's upon you. But for me, where I'm sitting, whether Ruto supports Raila or no, I will not vote for Ruto because even if he supports Raila until he wins. Come to mambo ya Babu. Babu has a dream, and we cannot stop that dream. But the thing is here, if you don't, let me use this language. If you don't, there are some leaders, if you don't kiss their ass, you can't win something. They can't support you. And that's why Babu is right now. You can see Sifuna. Sifuna was talking, and you can see when his debate is actually raising some issues. Right now, it's quiet. Because why? Because he's being told, like, the moment to the Raila, the moment to go against Raila, then it means 2027 utanguka chini. These our leaders. Let's put aside mambo ya Kingspin. If somebody has a dream and we know he can deliver, he can just deliver service, he can perform well, let's just vote for that person. Let's not just say because now Babu Wino is being not supported by Raila, we can't vote for him. So for me, if you have a dream, but like Babu Wino has a dream, let him go out there. Raila has one vote. People have vote who want to vote for that person. So for me, wakati umefika ni wakati ule ambapo Ruto is just trying to divide every parties because of this oil. And I'm praying that iende tuanze kuangalia mambo ya 27 because we are tired Ruto dividing everywhere, dividing leaders, all those kind of. Look what happened. The court decided Azimio iko na numbers. Now they have changed that way. And you tell me, because now Ruto is supporting the Raila, I'm going to vote for that government. The government which doesn't even follow the rule of the law, it doesn't even listen. So for me, I'm wishing Raila well to win AU, but if it doesn't, we're going to see him campaign just the answer. And I would like to see how will he just say all of us, we're going to go support Ruto because he did campaign for him.
Raila has got several answers, Bwana.
Let's say what was Otieno, mambo bado utangojea. We will have a different language. After this AU
election,
Thank you so much.
Want to talk about the AU so much because I've not done my research well about the AU thing. Reason being, someone has said today that when you are supporting Raila, right now you need to be a little bit wiser, not like before, where you take all your mind, all your soul, and everything that concerns you into his business, because you might end up in trenches. And we have learned a lesson. Some of us have learned a lesson right now. Let what might happen, let it just happen. But it's my prayer that the other African presidents can read malice in the Kenyan delegation that has gathered themselves at Addis Ababa for the sake of one man at the expense of other taxpayers' money and everything. I wish they sense that malice and do the necessary.
They cannot sense, Bwana. Why are you bitter,
That is my opinion, Oteno. Just keep quiet. Yeah, let me just speak. I've not told them to sense, but I'm just saying it's my wish that they sense the malice in that big delegation and save us from all these things that are going on to do with Ruto and Raila, how they are running this country. That aside, let me talk about Babu Owino. Everything, the problem that we are having in this country, let me say this, the millennials, we the millennials are the problem in the political arena. Reason why is because millennials, we have this kind of mindset whereby we worship leaders. We worship, the Gen Zs are very clever, but the millennials, they worship leaders. These are the only people who are diehards. When they are told to go this side, they will move this side. Tomorrow when they are changed, they will take another direction. Just like when Raila tried to endorse Babu and Sakaja, some people, look at the people who are fighting Babu right now. They are millennials. But the Gen Zs, they know what Babu can do. And other people who have good heads, they know Babu is a development-oriented leader. And the good thing is that the polls came out, and Babu is even the best performing MP. Today they tried something on X there between Babu and Sakaja, and Babu had 92. That shows the kind of man. Yeah. Yes? That shows the kind of man. Sawa. That shows the kind of man Babu Owino is. Many people are seeing vision and the kind of hard work the man has put into his political career. We cannot just bring him down because a demigod somewhere told us that this man is not enough. Now we have to follow because why? Why? Because some of us, we don't even come from Babu's tribe, but a lot of tribes have support. In fact, Babu is supported by now everyone, all tribes at Nairobi. They are supporting Babu, regardless of where he comes from. Why can't we put the weight behind this young boy and get what we deserve? Because like Sakaja is the least performing governor I've ever seen. Even Kidero was better, miles ahead. But people who are against Babu, they are from his tribe. Ndugu yangu, hii wivu mtakaa nayo mpaka lini? Simuachilie kijana aende. Watu wengine wanawasaidia. Let us push Babu to where he belongs, because when you are working hard, you expect a good outcome. And that guy has taken a lot of time to build his name, to build his reputation. Please, let us help. Thank you.
Bosti.
Political arena.
Okay, good evening, ladies and gents. Me each and every time I'm watching news, nasikia tu nachemuka. Because some of things these media houses report, these are things that are instigating pain in my chest, because kuna vitu zingine unasikia ati almost 100 MPs will be in Addis Ababa doing what? Knowing very well that these people are in Addis Ababa, not that they will be using their own money. These people are going there to use our taxes. Pesa nyingetumika maybe kujenga barabara mahali, inaenda kutumika ati MPs wanaenda sijui Addis Ababa. Mimi niko na swali, hiyo kiti ya AU, how will it help common mwananchi hapa Kenya? ndo government iamue sasa hii kiti lazima we invest heavily kwa hii kiti because this seat automatically inakuja kusaidia each and every Kenyan directly. Mimi hiyo kitu inanisumbua sana. Kuna mtu hapa ametoka kusema hapo juu ati each and every MP atakuwa na certain amount of money of whereby ati hiyo pesa wanaenda kutumia kulobi. Tuache kusugarcoat ati tunaita bribery ati lobbying. Aseme tu our MPs are going there to bribe head of states from other countries in Africa. So in real sense, if that's the route that we Kenyans we want to take, it is automatically and very obvious that mzee ameanguka. In fact, mzee hata hiyo Addis Ababa asiende, abaki tu huku kwetu nyumbani. Nikirejelea sasa kwa hii historia ya mzee na babu. Personally, mimi nilisema mzee apate hiyo kiti, aikose, babu is the next governor in Nairobi. Hiyo ni mpende msipende. Opinion polls zimefanywa severally. Na zimefanywa mute your mic yako bana. Hizo opinion polls
Vosti, sema point, wacha kupigana na watu. Sema point.
Mute. Kuna echo. Yeah, thank you. So my point is babu ni mupende msipende, na mimi nikaulizwa saizi if it is anything to do with babu showing his mighty. I think this is the time for him to show his mighty. Kuna mtu amesema babu si national figure. Personally, I think that person is very wrong, because whenever me visit kiasi tunaanza kuona kuna somehow hizo character traits za Rao kwake, ile yenye unapata anapendwa bila hata kuhonga watu wakuje mikutano zake. There's a time that he visited Mombasa. I think all of you muli witness what happened in Mombasa. Kuna time alikuwa hapa Githurai, all of you. So venye watu walitokea kuona babu. There's a time I attended a burial in Kiambu. Babu aliturn up kwa hiyo burial. Sitakudanganya, the way Kikuyus were behaving kwa hiyo mazishi, kuna ndio babu anaingia, can tell you that this guy anapendwa bure bila kupatiana chochote ndo receive your love. So ile uoga yenye Rawa konayo ni already ashaka chini, ameproject, ameangalia, ameona the only person mwenye akona, yani the only person mwenye ako charismatic ni babu, mtu mwenye anapendwa bila hata kutumia pesa yake ndo watu wampende. Na sote tunajua umze ana wivu chungu mzima. Umze haezi taka kuona mtu akirise kama babu, na shida yake kubwa ni babu ni mtoto wa nobody. Babu yani tu ni mtu ametoka from nowhere, na babu already ana rise, hizo ranks anaenda kizipanda. Yeye akaulizwa, as we are speaking, the person mwenye anafaa kuchukua ushukani from him ni dota wake mwenye alipeleka alipatia kiti Tanzania. Akaulizwa huyo ndo anafaa achukue ushukani from him. Juzi nilikuwa hapa nikasema mzee is a nepotist, anafikiria venye tu familia yake inaweza kuzwa, but afikiri venye we Luos akaondokea tutakuwa na the right leadership. Na sisi Luos wenye tunafikiria vizuri na tunajua what we want to achieve in leadership, tunajua the kind of leadership that we want. Sisi tunataka visionary leader mwenye at least ako very sober, a leader mwenye anaweza relate with anyone, na ni a leader mwenye afikiria ati chochote chenye ati atakaa chini afikirie we must follow. Huyo ndo yeye tunataka. So nyinyi wenu wa kuabudu, nyinyi muabudu but mjue niliwaambia projections inasema incoming election sisi rika ndogo tutavote watu 18 million. Hiyo andikeni chini na
hiyo ni uongo yako bana. Wewe ni mtu wa rumors bana. Wewe sasa unatuweka hapa na propaganda bana.
Thank you Vosti. Otieno wacha kutukoroga hapa kwa live. Thank you Vosti.
Sasa atatuweka na
so
we cannot allow to be
who is misleading you. Just mute my friend. So I was saying that you people should know this coming election, it is projected that 18 million young youths will participate in that election. By that, what do we mean? We young generation. Mute my friend, mute. Nini.
Such projection are only known by.
Thank you. So nakumalizia, thank you. So najaribu kusema automatically hiyo inamaanisha the leadership yenye tunakam kuweka in place ni leadership ya watu wenye tunaona they have our interest at heart, not people wenye wanakuja wanatu manipulate na kutubebea akili then after tumewapatia Kenya wanataka wanaenda. No, sisi tunataka watu wenye wako na interest ya young people at heart na pia wako na akili ya maendeleo, si akili ya kujiendeleza. Na nitamalizia na kusema anytime unapatiwa opportunity ya kulead, haimaanishi umepatiwa opportunity ya kufanya biashara ama kujitajirisha. That is an opportunity to show people ama to better lives of other people, not to benefit yourself. Asanteni.
Okay. Engineer? Engineer Samtex?
Okay. How are you guys? I hope mko poa and you're doing good. Yeah, when you're in a debate, we can have a debate. Of the country. So, okay. I think sometimes we know the fact that
because even if they open like a region
since memorial, but no, it's not even new masana yet. Some of us are still thinking like we're in 1960s. I don't know why. Still raising, going on to follow someone without having to know them or how they come to, how they can assist or how they can feed the country. For example, we are talking about Babu. Nothing against him, but whatever I see and I hear from the media, so he shot someone. I also saw another time Jirongo said he saw Ruto murdering someone, and there are a lot of murderers.
Audibility, please. You must be audible, please.
Okay, sisi. Nanisikia sahi. So Kenya nasema ni leaders yote ako na kesi kwa ama ako na mada kesi. That is not someone you should bring forward. Nothing nataka kusema mambo ya AU. AU nitasema okay, Baba anaweza win, it's a 50-50% chance. But by the checking, francophone countries kama wenye speak France ni wengi kuliko anglophone wenye wanaongeanga English. So most of the time, and if you go to those which most of the time wanatoka hapa. Sasa iko na a lot of lift due to, ukiangalia for example ka France walifukuzwa West Africa. Now they are currently not wanted even in DRC. Ndio maana unaona kuna hiyo rift between Mafosa and Kagame on all those issues. That can tell you it will be a hard battle to win, but I think Ruto, as we know him, he'll buy out whatever he can. That we are portraying a bad country. Nothing to buy, we should, maybe if we deserve it, we deserve it. So another thing, there will be a change political environment once either Baba loses or wins. Either way. But I hope beyond my doubt that if Baba loses, he'll become another Gachagua. That will help to prepare Ruto get out of power. Because if you had Sudi and you also had some people, they said Ruto cannot be a one-term president. So meaning they are ready to do anything
they can give me a call. I'll show them.
Get to maintain that power. Meaning Ruto, even if he loses, he may never leave that seat. I don't know why people have delusions, and Ruto have been seen many times agree telling people nitakusafirisha, other thing, wakola, like telling the young people. And that's why I'm telling the young people, it's your time to rise up, form a movement, whatever it is, and then you pick your leaders among you, people who you work together in a movement. But these are picking leaders who are already collapsed in a system, got into it. It will never work. So I just hope for the best for our country. I hope we will wake up and stop seeing people like demigods and realize, don't see just today. By Baba sitting that, by Baba getting that AU seat, I don't think it will benefit anyone. It will be his family and some of his fellow politicians. But the rest of us, if you go, if barabara yenu bado haijakuwa tamu, bado hospitali kama unaenda bado kama ni tax, it will remain the same. So at the end of the day, let us focus on what matters. Usikuwe na hulu baboon, just be swayed by emotion, like the love for someone. Vile hata I hope mnaweza kuwa hata kama demu hawezi kujitu mara ya kwanza mara ya pili na bado mkuwe naye, unless wewe ni mjinga. So at the end of the day, let us see someone who benefits everyone. Hakuna Mkikuyu, hakuna Mluo, hakuna Mtaita. You're Kenyans at the end of the day. Na utapata Mluo ndiye daktari wako, utapata Mluya ndiye dereva wako. At the end of the day, this to just check on what we are to and the generations to come. Before you go, oh Baba, oh Rigade, oh Ruto. At the end of the day, politics matters. What you eat, what you breathe, your health, everything. Just know politics is everything in this country. At the end of the day, hope we make a decision. We continue to press on. Because whatever Ruto did, maybe we can blame Ruto for it. But if you check, Ruto did not come, it's not an alien. He didn't come from us. He's from a community. Whoever, even all the politicians that you call maybe murderers, maybe those are corrupt, they come from community. Meaning, as a community, we have failed, and that's why we continue producing bad leaders. Doesn't mean even if we pick new ones, we have to fix the community as well. And that's why I'm saying a movement is better than assigning a political. Because when you have a movement, you have an identity, and that identity, you can grow it as a culture. Culture becomes the society. So it doesn't mean 10 years from now, 5 years to the same thing. And if Ruto gets out of the power. So that's why I say, kama wewe ni yule mmoja waongo, labda wewe ni soldier, ni whatever you are, and you ask something for you to do someone else. Meaning, even if you get that chance to be the Ruto or to be the governor of whoever, you still do the same. That's why I say, we as Kenyans have a cultural problem that we need to fix. And that when we fix that culture, then we'll fix our country. Thank you to Karina for that. Good to you. Thank you.
Rumba, over to you.
Yes, how are you? Now, I'm not going to take a lot of time. I want to touch on a few things. One, on why I think Raila is going to win. I don't know why or where you guys get the belief that Raila is maybe building on Ruto's prominence to win the AUC seat. I think Raila in Africa, for those who have studied history well enough, have been kind to understand whatever has been happening, know quite well that Raila was known even before Ruto came to office. Having been into the political scene for about 40 to 50 years, we can all know that Raila has the inroads to Africa's political circles. Raila has built enough friendship that he can bank on whenever he wants something. Even when he was announcing his candidature for the AUC seat, those of you who are keen, I know you noticed that he was with Olusegun Obasanjo, the former president of Nigeria. That's not someone you just wish away because of hatred. Thing two, I don't know why you guys find it well to be blaming Raila for your issues. You know, Raila was not elected into any public office and he holds none up to today. So because you feel that he didn't help you or wasn't there when you needed him to assist you fight the government, now you think he's a political conman who deserves to fail in his AUC bid just because he couldn't support your poor decisions during elections. Now, Raila opposed Ruto before the 2022 general elections. In fact, he started opposing Ruto and Uhuru back in 2013. Kenyans went ahead and elected Uhuru, went ahead and re-elected Uhuru in 2017, and then went ahead and gave Ruto a chance in 2022 because you believe Ruto was the best bet. Now, all of a sudden, when Ruto starts to nyorosha us, we now think Raila should come to our rescue. Why should he come to your rescue? Why should he be carrying the burden of your poor political decisions every election cycle? When he was leading demonstrations before, you called Raila an economic terrorist. In fact, some of you called him. Yeah? He was sabotaging the economy as at that time.
Like to hear continue.
Yeah. He was sabotaging the economy at that time with his constant demonstrations. Now that the government, that 7.2 million Kenyans elected into office, is now doing what it was elected into office to do, now you think Raila is a conman because he didn't support such a cause. I think if we were to hold anybody accountable, then we have to begin with ourselves. I know it's a healing mechanism that we adopted by projecting our anger or frustrations on Raila, but we must learn to hold ourselves accountable. If we cannot make correct political decisions at the ballot, then either we have to find a way of getting the person out of office before the 5-year ends, or sit back and watch the repercussions of our poor political decisions.
Having to blame a question before you go further. Just
okay.
A question. I accept the way you are supporting Raila, and I think you are very correct. The only thing I have a problem is that there are around 6 million plus who voted for Raila, who do not want Ruto, who voted for Raila. I want to repeat that I'm very clear. So these people do not appreciate Raila handshaking with Ruto. These people, they voted for Raila because they don't like Ruto, because they know Ruto. What do you speak on these people without castigating the other people who did not vote for Raila?
Thank you, Tony. I think what we have in our country is a winner takes it all. The minority have nothing. So probably I'm one of the people who voted for Raila. So we know generally while you're in opposition, there's nothing much you expect of the leader. And as much as you expect him to be holding the government accountable, but at some point he didn't sign a lifetime contract to always be in opposition. At some point, he also has his personal decisions. He also has his personal ambitions. In as much as you see he's 80 years old, He has his personal ambitions that he has to achieve. He cannot continue fighting for an ungrateful lot each coming election cycle. I don't blame him. I understand there isn't much he can do because the government has everything. Ruto is the president. He has captured the legislature. He is almost capturing the judiciary. There isn't much that Raila can do unless you want him to lead us into another session of demonstration. That's done. Point 2. I think I've answered you. Point 2. On Babu Owino. I'm not well aware of when Babu Owino announced his candidature, but his attacks on Sakaja are enough to show that he is eyeing the Nairobi gubernatorial race. Now, for most of us, I think one thing I want to encourage all of us, if you cannot be good readers, then let us be good listeners. And if you cannot be good listeners, then let's try to engage people and understand. Nairobi, for most of us, you'll understand that Nairobi is the capital city of the country. It's not somewhere you'll win because you're loved by people. You won't. Kama ingekuwa hivyo, Sonko would have finished, would have done second term, 2 terms. The fact that Sakaja is kneeling before Raila, and maybe some of you quoted that Raila had already endorsed him, for the rest tells you that Raila has influence in the county. That's a fact. All along, I think it's only in 2017 that Mike Sonko won ahead of Evans Kider that was buying on an ODM ticket. You'll understand. One thing I want us to understand here, that this person you guys are trying to underrate still has power. People are not going to vote on X. People are not going to vote on TikTok. If we want a change of leadership into our country, then what we need to focus on is on civic education and not projecting our anger and hatred on Raila. It's not going to help. It's not going to help. I repeat, if you know Raila very well, there's a reason why. For those who know, do you guys know who holds the majority in the Nairobi County Assembly, City Hall? It's ODM, and it has been so for a while. There's every reason why any governor or any leadership in the county always try to endear themselves to Raila. This is not coming from a person who loves Raila. This is a fact. Okay, Sakaja was elected on a UDA ticket. The ODM senator, the Senate for Nairobi was elected on ODM. The Senate, the women rep elected on ODM. Does that not point to something? Do you guys just think, okay, why are you guys angry that Raila held Sakaja's hand, but not Babu? Why do you want him to raise Babu's hand? Why can't Babu go on his own? There's something that Raila...
Why is he holding Sakaja's hand in the first place? Can you tell us?
Raila just like any other person.
You are trying to justify things that are not even near nonsense.
Can you let him prosecute his statement first?
But he's now trying to justify something.
Let him prosecute his statement first. Just let him prosecute his statement.
He's dirtifying our ears.
No. Also, you are given an opportunity. Let him finish. You dirtified our ears, we listen. Let him dirtify ours.
No, or you cannot dictate. We are many here. You cannot dictate our name.
No, you are not
harass. You gave your point, we listen to you. Let him talk. We listen. No. You'll have your chance.
Let me come in first because so that I can drop because he has got much he can share with us.
He's trying to sanitize Sakaja. He's trying to sanitize Sakaja because Baba raised his hand. But even the pause,
it is his turn to speak. Let him finish. Then you'll battle.
Let me come in first. And then I drop.
I think Nyarumba has had enough time. Nyarumba has had enough time. Let us give him time to summarize. Even if 30 seconds, then Nania come in. I think it's only fair.
Everything about Sakaja is in the media. He has done nothing. And everything about Babu is in the media. So why is he trying to make Sakaja look like he's a good person because Baba said? This kind of mentality is the one that we don't want in this country. It's the one that is draining us each and every day.
Na ni kijana mdogo.
He has a right,
My
tafadhali.
point is, I think
Your
you guys
belief
should
is
be
not
the
but
everybody
not
point.
else's
right in
You
belief.
this
guys,
millennial.
He has a
Wako
right,
na
but not
kasumba
right in
ingine
You
this
hapo.
see,
case.
no.
he had his
People do
chance.
not
He
have
listened
right.
to you.
People do not
Let
have right
him.
to
Let us
be
just
to
listen to
give.
him. Then we can
We
have a flowing
honorable we
conversation.
mtu unaongea sana. Wacha nini aongea ngishamaliza.
I'm summarizing. I'm only saying, I'm not sanitizing Sakaja. I'm not saying that. In fact, I've worked at the Nairobi City County Government, Sakaja's office. I'll not tell you the department. I worked with Sakaja for 6 months. Later quit for my the endeavors that I had to do. But I want to tell you, I'm not sanitizing Sakaja. I'm only saying there's much about Raila in the Nairobi politics that you guys don't want to see. It's not about Sakaja. All these politicians are almost the same. Sakaja has been stealing money from the public coffers in the Nairobi City County Government. Babu, not someone just because they played a music he didn't like. Babu also has a case, in as much it's not, I don't think if it's in court, of about killing the Embakasi, how do we call it? The IBC, the person who stood for the Embakasi elections, IBC. He has a case. I'm only saying we can only be fair and extend some grace to Raila that he's also a human being with choices to make. He's just one of us. We can still sell Babu without having to demonize the likes of Raila just because he's not part of us. Another thing, the 100 MPs who are rumored to be going to Addis Ababa, there's nowhere where it has been said and confirmed that they're going to be sponsored with money from the treasury. It's not anywhere.
Nyarumba,
Can
I
only
think you
extend some
should give
grace
Peja.
and
You're measuring our mind. Just finish,
with
give
table
Peja.
facts.
No, just finish, give Peja.
Brother, those are not facts. You know this country.
I think it's my time now. We have
give
given him
Peja.
enough
Peja,
time. Yeah. For me, I think some of the statements that are made here are purely disingenuous and devoid of facts. Yeah, those are rumors that have been heard through the grapevine. So if you look at the AUC position, I hate to burst your bubble, but Raila is going to lose, and we'll be here to revisit. We cannot sugarcoat this anymore. The reason why I say this, and for me, I normally give facts. Number one, Ruto meddled into the affairs of Congo, and he escalated the issues to Macron. That was a very big mistake because the SADC, which is composed of South Africa, Angola, Mozambique, and all those countries, and the South Africa, down there, the SADCs, South African, that is Southern Community. These countries, the Angola, the Lusophone countries, which are 6, you remember the one who is going to hold those elections, the chair is the Angola president, and is a member of SADC. That notwithstanding, the 16 members, that is SADC, the SADC, they are going to rally behind this guy called Mahamoud. If you look at DRC Congo, which is a member of SADC, is also going to rally behind the candidature of Mahamoud. You look at the northern countries where Mahamoud was the head of Arab affairs and also the ambassador of Djibouti to Egypt. And so they are going to rally behind his candidature, given that most of the Francophone countries, they vote on the basis of, they vote as a bloc. Most of the Francophone countries, they vote as a bloc. So all those countries, and you know, initially we had 21 African countries that were colonized by French, which were colonies of French. But now they have ballooned up to 29 countries because we have had some contagion of French system into most of African countries. So right now we have almost 29 Francophone countries across Africa. Now, if you add the 29 Francophone countries with the 16, which are SADC members, then you can outrightly see who is going to be the winner on Saturday. This is something that you don't have to put a lot of mathematics and razzmatazz and melodrama arguing about something that is going to be a cakewalk. So if you look at what is happening at the moment, Raila is trying to throw spaghetti on the wall to see if they can stick. And I hate to burst his bubble, but I want to tell him quite frankly that on Saturday we are going to see. We are going to come back in this platform and you will realize what I'm telling you today on Wednesday, that Mahmoud is going to win by a landslide, not even by something, a small margin, by a landslide. Because if you look at what is happening in the African countries, Nigeria is in support of Kenya, okay? But remember, Nigeria was the head of ECOWAS and they failed terribly. And because the Nigerians are supporting M23, which is a movement in Congo, of which this movement they are saying it's a freedom fighter, and
Peja, summarize,
yeah.
Peja.
Let me finish.
Those stories we know.
No, Otieno, hapana. This guy is making sense. He's giving facts. No, stop heckling.
There is no facts there.
No,
Otieno utapumzika, nitakudrop hapo chini.
Sasa wewe ni nani unadrop?
Let me finish and then you're going to
come na cram vitu zingine za kitambo hapo
hakuna kitu umetuambia, ulikuwa na time huku tuambia kitu yote.
Ongoja Peja continue. Nani ameongea hapa for more than 5 minutes?
Peja endelea. I will protect you from this goon.
Let me finish.
Aya, Gavin, mute Otieno.
Because of Kenya and for that matter Ruto meddling into the affair of Congo, that is something that will have a ripple effect on the outcome of the AU elections. He would rather have not interfered with what is happening in Congo, because Congo in DRC, they already have 16 members. And given that Congo is a French colony, the French colony are also in support of Congo.
Congo is Belgium.
French colony.
It's okay. Let me ask you. How many colonies does Congo have? How many colonies does Congo have? Which is the main language spoken in Congo? Is it not French? It has the biggest French-speaking community, even than France. Okay? So if you talk about history of Congo, I can explain to you everything about Congo. Okay? So that is something that will have a ripple effect on the outcome of Raila, on the outcome of Raila on Saturday because of meddling. So up to where I've given, up to there, I think I have given my points that Raila is going to lose on Saturday. Now, coming back to Babu Owino, there's nobody who does not know Babu Owino and the way he has been trying to escalate issues that touch on comrades. Even when he was at the university, he was a doyen, someone who can speak up and amplify the rights of the people. You see, when the government institutionalized a culture that disenfranchises young people, he was able to amplify their rights. Even now, some of the rights of the comrades, were it not for Babu Owino, they wouldn't have been known. And I can tell you quite frankly that Babu Owino is going to win in 2027. Not because he comes from the Luo tribe, I'm a Kikuyu, okay? But for me, I am very sure the Mount Kenya region is going to rally behind the candidature of Babu Owino. And not only the Mount Kenya alone, even Luos, even the Kamba, even the Luyas, they are going to rally behind his candidature. Not because he is competing with Sakaja, it is because of he has a track record which is undisputable. But Sakaja has got no name worth reciting. There is nothing much he has done for Nairobi. In fact, I would rather say Sonko was better than Sakaja, because once Sakaja took over, the business community, if you look at the economy in Nairobi, the cost of living has become steep. People are struggling to make ends meet. Even providing a shortfall for your upkeep is a big problem in Nairobi. And therefore, they need someone like Babu Owino, who has a scoreboard, someone who has been in a position to address and escalate issues that touch on the comrades. Thank you for this small window of opportunity. Thank you.
I believe now it's my turn. Initially, somebody had quoted me and said that lobbying is equal to
Owen
bribery.
anaongea mara ngapi? Owen unaongea mara ngapi?
Si logistics yako wewe pia utafika. Si watu wanaenda in line.
Owen, kuna mtu hapa anaitwa Banawiza hajaongea.
Owen, si nadhani
si tunaenda hivyo.
Nadhani
ama kuna vile watu wanarukana.
Hapana, tunaenda tu na line kulingana na venye watu wamekuja latest. Kindly pay tu alafu nitakupatia chance.
Hello.
Si ndio? Si nimekuja mbele yake.
Ulishaongea.
Ushaongea. Wacha tu aongee. Wacha tu nitakuputa after yeye Owen, kindly.
I will talk just a bit. I'm saying that for me, I'm saying Raila is going to win because we are the African giant, and because of Trump, African countries wameingiza baridi. Sasa Kenya ndio wanategemea. I think for me, nacheki ni baba akikalia hiyo kiti. Ni hayo tu machache. Thanks.
Owen, can you continue?
Okay, so I'll still insist on this. And this one, even Peja will come here and benchmark. Raila is going to win. He gave out 29 francophone countries. I don't know, in his mathematics, he failed to deduct 5 or even 6, the suspended countries that will not vote. We should know the one who will take the seat for the AUC has to get 3/4 votes. As it is, this is not going to be a one round thing, and it will be on an elimination method. So they'll do their first vote. The 3/4 threshold will not be met. There are only 2 strong contenders here, and we all know that. It's the Djibouti fella and Raila himself. Now, the member who was represented by SADC, and you mentioned SADC has like 16 members. East Africa also has some members. While we are doing also this math, we should remember it is not only the chair of AUC seat that is being contested for. We have also a deputy chair seat. And this deputy chair seat has been left for the preserve of the North African countries. There we have Egypt, we have Algeria, and we have so many countries, including even Morocco. So it's all about give and take. It will be, while we are going to give the AUC chair, let's say, to a specific person, let's say even if it is Raila, what extra votes are you going to give so that we can add on ours? We also secure a deputy chair seat. And with that in mind, it spoils the story or what is being passed as
Honorable Owen,
that the Francophone will have their way.
Yeah.
I've always said this.
Just one question.
Let me finish. If you begin with questions, there will be a lot of back and forth.
No,
and somebody
just one.
Let me finish. We've had an AUC chair who is from an Anglophone country. We've had an AUC chair who has been from an Anglophone country down in South Africa. So there's nothing impossible for any Anglophone country member securing that seat. Any other thing is all about personal hate and personal wishes for Raila to fail. But as fact stands, he has a good chance. A member here had labeled and said he watched the news and likened lobbying to bribing. That is false. Lobbying is totally a different thing. It is legal, not only in Kenya. Even in US, it is protected under the First Amendment. Okay, and even in the European countries, yes, there's a very big difference. Lobbying is legal, bribing is illegal. That is one main difference. So whatever lobbying that will happen in Addis It is something that is a global practice that is accepted, and we should stop having this biasness that, oh, because somebody has lobbied. No, that's part and parcel of campaigning.
I wanted to, Honorable Owen, napenda nimwite na hiyo jina. Sounds so good. So alikuwa amesema ati it's give and take between the various seats that will be voted for. First the AU chair and the AUC deputy chair. Then I really asked him a very fantastic question. Does he know the name of the outgoing deputy chair of AUC? Just wanted to ask, because if he doesn't know, that means there's a chance that people do not know even the deputy president of Kenya, or the deputy president of Egypt, or the deputy president of South Africa, or the deputy president of anywhere. Because this seat doesn't make sense. They only go for the top seat. The other one, they can be shared. You can give to anybody else. Even if Raila is defeated, the deputy chair can be given to any candidate in East Africa because it's inconsequential.
And then I also wanted to ask Owen, how many Lusophone countries are in Africa?
The likes of Peja, naive people like Tony. Let us wait for the D-Day on Saturday. This thing matter will be laid to rest. We have done our subsequent analysis. They have done theirs. The only thing now we can do, let us do the lobbying at the AUC. We have a majority of our members there, those people who believed in Raila Amolo Odinga. They are lying. Let's wait and see. It is now a wait and see scenario. The likes of Peja, we will meet in this platform again. Don't run to Kiambu, or you die along the Thika Road before you see how our man is going to lead the AUC, by virtue that is a very robust, charismatic old man.
You are man and who? You are man and who?
Ati?
Say your hand.
Pardon, political. I'm not getting you.
He is your man, not our man. Your man, Raila Amolo Odinga.
For me, he's going to win.
Continue
The
wallowing
African
in
on
denial.
Ross.
Bwana Whisker.
All the African countries are watching Kenya because of
I
the
wanted
issue
to
of
ask
Trump.
I wanted to ask Banamuiza a very simple question. Do you mean that Francophone countries are going to rally behind the candidature of Raila? Because these countries, they have got policies and they have to implement those policies. And there's an arrangement. They have to come up with an arrangement that will suit their needs. Okay? And they normally vote as a bloc. And remember, Djibouti is an Arabic and a French speaking country. And I've told you, this guy, Mahmoud, was the head of Arab affairs. And also, he was the ambassador of Djibouti to Egypt. When he was given the position of Ministry of Foreign Affairs in 2005. So he has got numeric strength in most of the French-speaking countries and Arabic countries. And remember, the northern part is Arabic countries. Going down to the SADC, South Africa, which is the overarching body, South Africa, given into this issue of DRC, I told you that issue of DRC will have a ripple effect on the outcome of these elections, because there are those countries that are in support of DRC, like the SADC, and there are those countries that are not backing DRC, like Nigeria. And that's why you saw Nigeria did not interfere when the M23 launched an offensive in most of the cities, Goma, South Kivu, Bukavu, and North Kivu, moving to Kinshasa. And remember, these countries that are supporting Congo, they are the SADC, the Angola. You've heard about the Angolas say that they are going to deploy their military to Congo so that they can quell or they can provide a ceasefire. And also South Africa also deployed their soldiers to Congo. They couldn't have deployed their soldiers to Congo, there being no more than meets the eye. They had already sat down, agreed that they are going to rally behind the DRC, which is also part of SADC. So given that this country, these 16 members, the SADC, are in support of Congo, it is going to have a ripple effect. And that's why I'm telling you, Ruto wouldn't have interfered with what is happening in DRC.
No,
leave away
with that.
I wanted to add an information on whatever you are conveying.
No.
Number one, you've ignored the recent meeting with EAC and SADC, where they had all agreed that whatever is going on in DRC is a complex thing that cannot be solved with bullets and bombs. And they equally agreed to merge the Nairobi and the Luanda process. So the supposed division that you're trying to sing here between the EAC and SADC is a fallacy, because at the same time, Tshisekedi has roped in Chad also in this conflict. The conflict at DRC is something that's long. It's a long history. It's complicated, even if we go back to the First and Second Congo War. So, and even if we refer to the Second Congo War, there was a gridlock when Angola and is it Zambia took sides, and Rwanda and Uganda took sides. There was nothing that was achieved. And that is something that is known by the African president. They have the intelligence and they are sharing. There is no division.
Honorable Owen,
Peja, can you give me a point to...
Wait.
It's my turn.
Let us do this.
Let me finish this and then I'll give you the platform, Tony. Yeah,
let me
finish this and then I'll give you the platform.
Okay, wait. I'm giving you the platform, Peja. I want to say that when you are interjecting, make sure that you don't go past 1 minute. Because someone is interjecting, then they explain and explain and explain. No, don't go beyond 1 minute, please.
Yeah, can I come in for 30 seconds?
Yeah, yes. Then when we finish,
now, Honorable Owen, now listen here. EAC has got only 3 members. Has got only, I think, 5 members, if I'm not wrong. Even DRC say that they are not going to be in support of the EAC. They said they want to be in SADC. And if you look at DRC is a member of SADC. That's why you saw South Africa deploying their soldiers to Congo so that they can help to stop these kind of advances and the offensive that the M23 has launched in Congo. And therefore, that is why I'm telling you, EAC has got no teeth.
Tanzania is also a member of EAC and SADC. Tanzania is also a member of both.
Yeah. But remember, South Africa, which is the overarching body of SADC, is the one that, is in control. It's the one that backs order with some of these countries. That's why you saw Angola when
the chair position is rotational like the EAC one. The chair of SADC is rotational. Currently, it's in South Africa.
Leave away with the blocks.
Can you give guys? See you finish. I speak.
Leave away with
Peja, your time is up.
Blocks.
Your time is up.
Leave away with the blocks.
Bwana Zika, Bwana Zika.
Can you
should.
Okay, Tony, go on.
For
less than a minute.
This point. Yeah, I want to do my final contribution. I want to be really fair to this process, even though I personally don't want Raila to win this thing. But I want it to live because number one, kama Raila tashindwa, there will be a very big celebration on Saturday. No, Wodney and Derek, can we be organized? Can we be orderly? We are very respectable here. Kindly, please. They are people of Nyade. We cannot shout at each other down. Thank you. So I want to begin by saying, yes, I am biased. I don't want Raila to win. But there are a lot of overlaying factors which cannot be simplified just because this group is in SADC, this one is in ESC, this is another one. So case in point, we saw the voting pattern in New York, in the voting pattern in the United Nations Security Council, where Uganda voted against Kenya. Where many, even Rwanda voted against Kenya in that vote. And these are ESCC, these are very close-knit countries, Kenya. So there are a lot of factors that are going to play there that we may not be having insight to it. You see, we Honorable Owen and the other and Nyarumba and the others who are supporting Raila, you've really put a solid case where you think your candidate is best. Probably people who are in Djibouti might also put similar case for the other candidate. But now Mbivu na Mbichi is just in the next around 2 days. In the next 2 days, maybe 1 day, maybe less than 24 hours, that there will be a turnover and the winner is who. So the best candidate win, and I can assure you there are a lot of turn. The United Nations Security Council, the vote that took place, where many countries that you feel would easily align with Kenya turned against Kenya on the vote. So AU is like insignificant compared to United Nations voting pattern. And we've seen the history. Amina Mohammed was here. You saw the countries who voted against Amina Mohammed, some of them in ESC. So what makes them?
So what makes them special that they will vote this time? There's also the other side who betrayed the other candidate, that is the outgoing AUC, and voted Amina Mohammed. And they are francophone. They are there. Of course, they were there. So there is a give and take in this thing. So we are looking forward to it. And that's my unbiased opinion. Thank you.
Ward Nyandare, can you please take the mic? Then Demarcus.
Okay, first and foremost, me, I can say that all those Kenyans who are against Raila Odinga taking over this AUC seat are like jilted lovers. And why am I saying like this? The Djibouti guy they are supporting has been a minister for foreign affairs for over 20 years or 20 years plus. There is a war in his immediate neighbor, Sudan. Leave alone the Congo war, Sudan. What has he done? Or what interventions has he put in place to end the war in Sudan? Zero. That is the guy you want to be in charge of Africa, where many countries of Africa now are at civil wars. Okay? People who are talking here about this thing francophonic have been in countries colonized by France. And I can tell you here in Africa, the only developed countries colonized by France in Africa that have seen that you can see there is development are only two. And that is Ivory Coast and Rwanda. The rest, you arrive in a capital of city of a country and it looks like the way Mlolongo used to look in late 90s. So I don't know what Kenyans are trying to see in this Djibouti guy that he can put Africa in a very good place. Somebody who is in a position. I said here the other day that we can compare him with Kalonzo Musyoka when Kalonzo Musyoka was Minister for Foreign Affairs for Kenya here. Kalonzo played a very big role to make sure that peace was there in South Sudan. He made several trips inside Southern Sudan. He met the parties that were fighting there and he ensured peace was there. What has this guy done in Sudan? Where over 1 million of Sudanese people are refugees now in Southern Sudan. And over 800 people have been killed since that war of Sudan started. That is his immediate neighboring country. He has done nothing, even trying to use the military of his country to intervene. He has not done that. The war in Congo, according to me, to finish that Congo war is very easy if African leaders are serious to end it. Only two things need to be done. Withdraw Ugandan forces and Rwanda forces inside DRC. Let other peacekeeping countries or missions take over. And that war will end. Facilitate all those Rwandese refugees who are in Goma, because there is peace in Rwanda now, and Rwanda has developed. Also in Burundi, there is peace. They should be facilitated by UN to go back to their countries. They should not be left to be refugees forever in DRC. They should be taken back to their countries. And anybody trying to subdivide the DRC into two and give the Tutsis part of Congo DRC, that will worsen the situation and that war will not end. Back here at home, I wish Raila Amolo Odinga well. I'm sure he will take this thing 100%. The people who have gone, or the MPs who have gone to Addis Ababa, is only to give Raila moral support. There is no much they can do there, because by the time a president leaves his country, travels to Addis, he has already made up his mind whether he will vote for Raila or he will vote for the Djibouti guy. No much you can do there. And even most of those MPs will not even reach those presidents. So nothing more they will do there. I know the Djibouti guy has tried to use a lot of propaganda. He's being bribed, I don't know, 7 billion or 6 billion. They are trying to persuade him to step down. All those are propagandas, political propagandas, and they're acceptable.
Would you really doubt Ruto? Ruto cannot try something like that.
What?
Maybe Raila may not, but would you doubt Ruto?
There are people to be bought,
has
and
no hearts.
among those people who can be bought, that Djibouti guy is not among them.
Why?
If any buying thing was there,
why?
I can assure you.
Why?
Yes.
Why
That was
can't
a
he be bought?
response by anti-Kenyan bloggers after there was a certain propaganda that was shared that he had stepped down. Even today, if you looked at the handle of Cyprian Nyakundi, there are claims that the Arabic media is saying that he stepped down and he has come to clear the air that is still in the race.
No, they should. Okay, that one is a fair take. There's a propaganda for and to and fro. But now, do you doubt the individual called William Ruto? Do you think he cannot use overt means, because we know who Ruto is? Maybe Raila is someone who has a bit of humility. But Ruto, will you imagine Ruto not trying to bribe himself out of that out of this process?
Tony, Ruto can do that thing, but not on that Djibouti guy. Not on that Djibouti guy. That one I can assure you, because he's a non-issue.
Why is he a non-issue?
I don't know how I can make you understand this thing.
Make me understand, because you just claimed that he's a non-issue. How? Why?